Hey there, Saints. Pastor Dave here with another weekly devotion for you this Wednesday. Hope you're doing well today. It's been a couple of weeks. I've been out of town with our youth on a few trips, but I'm glad to be back now. And I've got another meditation to share with you from A Quiet Mind by David Koontz. This one is about our enemies. Pay attention to your enemies, for they are the first to discover your mistakes. Antisthenes. Part of what Antisthenes, the 4th century Greek philosopher, states here isn't anything I didn't learn long ago, namely that the person who dislikes me the most is the one who knows my weaknesses. The other part, the first part about paying attention, well, I'm still working on that. There was this guy. I don't think I've ever disliked anyone so much before or since. I'll spare you the details, except to say he was mean-spirited and had an uncanny accuracy for zeroing in on your most vulnerable spot. And he never hesitated to do so. Well, and here's the hard part about all this. He was almost always right. I mean, his criticism was basically accurate. The mistake I made or the fault he named was real. I was served up the truth in a nasty and ill-willed manner. Did I dislike him for being mean, or was it that he was right and I didn't want anyone to notice? Or both. In any event, he was still right. That's the philosopher's pay attention part, the hard part, which can come to you only as you sit quietly and try to be open. The more we can see our enemies as our teachers, the more serenity and peace of mind we'll have in their presence. Look to people, maybe not true enemies, but people who oppose you, who have a different set of assumptions from you, who don't see things the way you do, or even who don't like you. They may have something valuable. They may be able to help you see your mistakes, the areas in which you need to grow, or the hidden areas of your personality. You don't have to like them. That guy I was talking about, still don't like him, wherever he is. Saints, that is not easy, is it? To listen to the people that we don't like. I think in our particularly polarized culture these days, it's easy for us to push people away and to just silo them off and say, well, you don't think like I do, you don't believe like I do, you don't act like I do, you don't value the things that I do, so I'm just not going to interact with you at all. I'm going to put up this barrier and I'm going to put a wall around myself, and I'm just not going to pay any attention to you. And I hope you don't pay any attention to me. The problem with that, as Koontz points out, is that we lose the perspective of those people who come from a different place than we do. You know, most of the arguments that we get into, most of the differences of opinion that we might have with other people are not because other people are bad, dumb, and evil. As much as we'd like to believe that, it's not because they are mentally or morally deficient. It's because they have a different background and a different way of coming at the world. They were raised to value different things. And it's not that we don't understand the things that they value, they're just not the same ones that we share. And so if we could listen with a more open heart and open mind to those people who we think of as enemies, those people who we disagree with, maybe we would hear the things about ourselves that we're not always real willing to look at or examine or question ourselves on. When's the last time you actually heard someone else's criticism of you and said, yeah, I think you're right? Or, yeah, I was wrong about that. Or I did wrong there. Maybe if we're particularly humble people, we can hear that from a friend, but we almost never want to hear it from an enemy. And yet, our enemies are the ones who tend to see our weaknesses the most clearly. What if we could give them a little bit more credit? What if we could take the things that they say more to heart, not with unqualified assent, but with the ability to actually think critically about that? If someone calls me rude, or if someone calls me inconsiderate, maybe I need to actually Think about that. Where is that coming from? Is there any truth to it? If someone says that my viewpoint here is short-sighted, narrow-minded, maybe I need to really think about that. Saints, that's your devotion for this week. I hope it's something that you'll be able to think about and is helpful for you. I hope you're doing well and staying healthy. I'll be praying for you. Please keep praying for me, and I'll see y'all again soon. Take care, Saints.